Greetings of peace and joy to one and all. It is with great honor and privilege that I was given the opportunity to represent in this momentous conference my country, Philippines, as well as our institution, the Urdaneta City University in Urdaneta City, Pangasinan, Philippines. So without further ado, let's proceed to my presentation. Our study is entitled Students' Academic Behaviors of Integrity and Competence in Online Learning During the COVID-19 Pandemic. And my co-researchers are Professors Jocelda C. Vidal and Gleemore C. Makie. I will be presenting 5 parts of our study. So the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted every facet of life, but one of the biggest collateral impacts was felt by the education sector. The world came to a standstill while schools and universities scrambled to push learning to the digital space. We all know that at school, students undergo character development. Their behaviors are guided by the school's structures, systems, and practices so that they will become the school's desired good traits and values. Students at school or inside physical classrooms are directly checked on their behaviors and have their teachers and leaders as the models of the school's values. But due to COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, that prompted schools to adopt online learning and virtual classrooms, character development became impossible. Schools are meant to develop character at school, but students are at home in a different environment, attending virtual classes with poor internet signals and the unavailability of online gadgets. Teachers doing synchronous or the virtual face-to-face encounters and asynchronous or no actual supervision could not guarantee their moral influence on students. These are moral issues. Consequently, some questions came to light with online learning, such as, is online learning with a virtual classroom during this pandemic really good for character development? Can online learning influence the relationships between students' academic and social behaviors? One way education can meet the growing need to be globally competitive is through the use of online learning. Here in the Philippines, to catch up with the curriculum, one of the guidelines released by higher education institutions is the use of the distance or online learning. As the face-to-face classes pose a higher risk of the spread of the virus, the most viable solution to uphold the sanctity of education and learning is through online teaching and learning as posited by Malipot in 2020. UCU 2020 defined online learning as the mode of combining synchronous and asynchronous learning. The students must have a stable internet connection to access the learning instructions and materials through iConnect, which is the Urdaneta City University's learning management system. According to the studies of Peterson in 2019, Wolverton in 2016, Miller and Young-Jones in 2012, Watson and Sotil in 2010, McNabb and Olmsted in 2009, Mastin, Pesca, and Lilly in 2009, Lanier in 2006, dishonesty happened in online learning. Thus, ethics is very important to guide online learning. The Urdaneta City University, or UCU, was very quick to respond to the lockdowns. As early as September 20 of 2022, it has proposed a learning continuity plan for flexible learning and teaching approaches that were developed from Dr. Eliza Ashley Malag's dissertation, named as Urdaneta City University iConnect, UCU 2021. Bright Future starts here is UCU's ethical philosophy or principle that emphasizes the relevance of being right from bright, ethical, or good here and now as students to become the same in the future as professionals. Bright also signifies excellence and wisdom that practically start at this very present situation. UCU is expected to fully become bright and always do what is right. Guided by this practical wisdom, UCU students must develop the four core values or the virtues of integrity, teamwork, competence, and transcendence, or the ITCT, even if it is through online learning. Thus, the moral character or that makes a good UCU graduate is the ITCT, or again, integrity, teamwork, competence, and transcendence. UCU 2021 clearly defined and explained the four virtues as follows. First, integrity. True UCUians, imbued with the spirit of nobility, live their lives guided by the ideals of honesty and authenticity. Their words and actions consistently reveal their commitment to decency and honor. They pursue the path of truth even if this were the less popular choice. Second is the teamwork. The spirit of nobility moves UCUians to cooperate with other members of the university in realizing a common goal. With humility, they accept that each member of the UCU community brings his or her capabilities to actualize the university's vision. Noble UCUians seek and pursue to achieve unity in any area or situation, understanding that the best outcomes almost always happen in the spirit of cooperation. Third is competence. Passion for excellence drives noble persons to shine in their chosen craft. They do not settle for mediocrity and capacitate themselves with the requisite know-how and skills to establish their expertise and credibility in their discipline. They continue the pioneering character of Dr. Pedro T. Orata by spearheading innovations while building on traditions of excellence. And fourth is the transcendence. Noble UCUians are selfless stewards of goodness and compassion to their fellow human beings, to the school, to the community, and those in need. Prioritizing the cause of others before theirs. Willing to accept, do, and get the job done without expecting recompense. Going beyond the self-actualization, they aim to reach their full potential to best serve noble causes beyond the self. Concerning that, we came up with the significance of the study. The results of the study can be used as a reference for significant elements that could improve the entire quality of the teaching and learning process. It will provide timely and relevant data regarding the actual experiences experienced by students that will help them understand their behaviors during this online learning. Also, for Urdaneta City University, other educational institutions, and future researchers, it will be extremely beneficial to the university in terms of baseline data and references for further studies and verification. Aristotle's ethical framework is one of the main theoretical frameworks used to explain the UCU's core values. which can be developed through practice or actions that turn into virtues or positive character traits. In addition, we used Zhang's concepts of transactional distance as a measure of a students' difficulties in getting actively involved with their online learning environment. So these four interactions are as follows. The transactional distance between the students, or the TDSS, transactional distance between students and the teacher, or the TDST, transactional distance between the student and the content, or the TDSC, and transactional distance between the student and the instructional technology, or the TDSI. So for the aforementioned theories, the researchers use the community of inquiry and the behaviorist learning theory. The community of inquiry, or the COI, promotes the concepts of three distinct presences. We have the cognitive, social, and instructional or teaching presences. These elements interact to influence a student's educational experience. This theory will help researchers understand the relationships of the academic behaviors, particularly integrity and competence, and online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Lastly, behaviorist learning theory, as propounded by Singupta in 2020, is a popular concept that focuses on how students learn. This theory claims that learners' behaviors are determined through interaction with the environment. It will explain how students' academic behaviors are influenced by outside factors such as the presence of the online learning. In the theoretical framework of this study, the variables are the academic behaviors named integrity and competence. So the segment from online learning to the behaviors signify the existing influence of online learning on academic behaviors that could later be utilized for institutional change or even suggest the success and improvements needed for character development in Urdaneta City University. In terms of research design and strategy, this study used quantitative research with a descriptive method. The information was gathered from 375 respondents from various courses, currently enrolled during the time of study in ethics, and who have completed the nobility subject at Urdaneta City University. While sampling scheme was used in this study, is the convenience random sampling with the data gathering tool of survey questionnaire, which was administered through Google Forms. For the data gathering procedure, the researchers started with the analysis of the relevant documents and literature. Next is the preparation of the communication letter and questionnaire. Then the researchers evaluated the questionnaire by research. Then we validated the questionnaire by research experts, and the researchers transformed the letter and questionnaire into Google Forms and administered the final Google Forms to each of the respondents by sending the link through email, Facebook Messenger, and other social media accounts. Finally, the researchers tallied, summarized, analyzed, and discussed the results with the help of a statistician and came up with their conclusions and recommendations. So for the statistical treatment, the researchers used the frequency count, weighted mean, and Pearson product moment coefficient correlation. So let's proceed to the results of this study. So for the primary results, According to the results of these two tables, the respondents' academic behavior in online learning involving integrity was negative. So a negligible or non-existent relationship. On the other hand, the relationship between online learning and competence is marked by a strong positive correlation, which means that the sustainability of online learning has a big impact on the competence of the respondents. Academic integrity has been an issue or controversy amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. As the students shift to online learning, it is believed that it has become easier for students to undermine their academic honesty, whereby students are accused of copying others' outputs, using the web during the examinations, and asking surrogates to attend online classes and accomplish their academic tasks, as posited by San Jose in 2021. Nonetheless, based on the results of their level of integrity, all of the indicators received a mark of high rating. This justifies that despite the widespread concerns about students' integrity, teamwork, and transcendence during the online learning environment, students continue to value their core values for the reason that they have already embodied those values in their characters using the virtue ethical framework. However, since the student's person correlation received a negative correlation, it followed that if too dependent on online learning, the integrity, teamwork, and transcendence of students decreased. And if less dependent on online learning, the academic integrity and social behaviors, namely teamwork and transcendence of students, increased. With that, the researchers aligned with the behaviorist learning theory as purported by Singupta in 2020. This will explain why the respondents' academic integrity and social behaviors such as teamwork and transcendence are susceptible to change because of the new external factors that the transition to an online learning environment provided to them. For example, the indicator answer examinations honestly received the lowest mean from the respondents' level of academic integrity. However, this result also showed that if the students experienced problem in online learning, their competence would also decrease. In this result, the researchers correlated the student satisfaction with learning with the transactional distance theory as coined by Zhang in 2003. In online learning, for example, the greater distance between the instructional technology and students, the greater the risk of losing satisfaction in learning and being competitive. Likewise, the result of the survey under the respondents' level of academic competence under the statement expressed myself confidently in a class that received the lowest mean. So as a conclusion, the UC-UYANs were found to have a positive academic behaviors with a high level of academic integrity. The UC-UYANs were guided by honesty and authenticity by showing great respect, complying with the requirements, following rules and good manners, participating actively, and being decent, truthful, and responsible despite the challenges of online learning and the COVID-19 pandemic. With a high level of academic competence, the UC-UYANs were driven by their strong passion for excellence in using effectively their online learning gadgets, doing assignments properly, submitting quality outputs, and developing knowledge, skills, and abilities in time management, explanation, participation, thinking, and reading despite the challenges of online learning and the COVID-19 pandemic. And for the recommendation of that result, there is a need to strengthen the policies and measures in the iConnect examination, which, as what we have mentioned a while ago, iConnect is the learning management system developed by Urdaneta City University, as well as the examination integrity. Also, the formation of more social networking groups to promote good communication and harmonious relationships among students is needed. There is also a need for the administration to work with parents and community leaders to guarantee that the students are directed so that they may spend more time at home studying courses and reaching their full potential. Lastly, students' online learning instructions and materials should also be upgraded. Based on this table, the relationship between online learning and academic integrity with a Pearson correlation of negative 0.166 is a negligible correlation. The result of this table indicates that online learning did not show any relationship to the academic integrity of the respondents. As another substantial proof of the conclusion of Peterson's 2019 study entitled An Analysis of Academic Dishonesty in Online Classes, there is a little evidence that cheating is more prevalent in online courses. Also, as aligned, the behaviorist learning theory, as posited by Singupta in 2020, claims that learners' behaviors are determined by external factors. This will explain that the academic behaviors are products of online learning, UCU philosophy, and core values. This suggests that behaviors can be changed and even the kind of behavior can be altered by altering the factors that would affect them. Despite the widespread concerns about students' academic integrity, such as those raised by Peterson in 2019, Miller and Young-Jones in 2012, Watson and Sotil in 2010, McNabb and Olmsted in 2009, Mastin, Pesga, and Lilly in 2009, Stubber, McWem, Wisely, and Hoggett in 2009, students still value their core values, particularly the UCU core value of integrity, as Urdaneta City University has always implemented for their students as strengthened by the concept of habituation of Aristotle, which is better known as the character development. This idea holds that humans can develop a good character or set of virtues through appropriate upbringing, as noted by Aristotle. This means that UCUians have never been affected by the negative external factors of online learning, such as academic dishonesty, as shown in this table. The relationship between online learning and competence, on the other hand, is highly positive, with a Pearson correlation of 0.816. With a high positive correlation, when online learning decreases or increases, there is a strong possibility that academic competence also decreases or increases. With all of that, it is a UCU competency, which means that UCUians will not accept mediocrity. Also, as online learning helps students access abundant information and it is less expensive than other ways of learning, it helps students exercise their best and allow them to explore more, which helps them to learn better. So this is the list of our primary references. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a productive day, everyone. Again, the title of our study is Students' Academic Behaviors of Integrity and competence in online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. And my co-researchers in this study are Professor Jocelda Vidal, MPA, Dr. Gleemore C. Makie, PhD, and yours truly, Mary Ruth Datario, JD, MPA. Thank you and mabuhay.